lost for something to paint today, but I noticed that the RFK hearing is on live on YouTube, so I thought it'd be fun to paint that.
That is so dangerous.
What is she talking about? Everybody's getting on to him because he has a different opinion regarding medicine, and I guess he's supposed to follow the science. It's kind of loud. Let's see here.
Do you think science is dangerous, Senator?
Do you think
This is published peer-reviewed
science
study.
is dangerous? We're gonna turn this down just a little bit.
Senator Collins, who would have been here the whole time.
I think
was in a-
they're supposed to be asking the questions, Robert. If you want to see what I'm painting, I don't know how you're gonna do it. Just watch YouTube. There's my YouTube in the background. Is that legal? Can I do that, YouTube? I'm just promoting YouTube.
Like diabetes, like Alzheimer's.
Who is this? Senator Collins.
It concerns me.
I don't know my
when I
senators.
read a quote from you that says, "I'm going to say to NIH scientists, God bless you all. Thank you for your public service. We're going to give infectious diseases a break for about 8 years." Don't we need to do both? Don't
Absolutely, Senator. The problem is there's been an imbalance. We've got
There's
all
Robert.
these dollars
Roberto.
to infectious
Beto.
disease and to drug.
There's
And
Beto.
NIH incubator for the
Oh,
pharmaceutical
okay. I'm trying to.
and very little of chronic disease. But the chronic disease is 92% of deaths in our country. It's 9 out of every $10 we spend on our budget. Why aren't we devoting at least equivalent studies to determine the etiology of our chronic disease? It just seems like common sense to me.
I would point out that in many cases, it's Congress rather than HHS who sets the funding level for various diseases.
I thought she was going to object to the using of common sense.
Panels that decide who gets funding, not Congress.
It's still a little loud.
I want to share a discussion that
We're turning them down because
um,
they like to overrepresent.
she raised the concern that people are discouraged
YouTube or Facebook?
from
YouTube.
getting their children
We're live on YouTube. I'm still
vaccinated.
getting set up.
We will lose
You're just watching
herd immunity
my noodle
in
in
a
process, how my mind works.
That
I wasn't really
means
doing
that
anything.
a child who may be immunosuppressed and
They're
not
trying to get a good
get
angle so that you can see what I'm going to paint.
are at
which is
risk of being in the classroom
The
with
best,
an
the brightest,
unvaccinated
the ones we
child,
send
and
to
thus at
run our
risk
country.
of getting the infectious disease because
The
of
peaceful
loss
transfer of power.
herd immunity. What would be
History
your
in the
response
making.
to that?
My response is that
Live local artists
vaccine
making a
uptake
painting.
for the COVID vaccine, for example, is down to 23%. And all vaccines are dropping, and they're doing that because people don't believe the government anymore. We need
People
good
don't
science,
believe the
and I'm gonna
government.
bring
Did
that
they
in.
ever?
I'm gonna restore trust, and that will restore our vaccine uptake.
Well, you're certainly correct about what happened with the COVID vaccine, but let me switch to the polio vaccine. Do you think that the polio vaccine is safe and effective?
Yes, I do.
And so would you seek to reduce its availability in any way?
No, not at all.
The state of Maine has seen a steady and disturbing increase in Lyme disease cases over the past decade. We talked a little bit about this in my office. In 2023, Maine had a record number of Lyme disease cases, nearly 3,000 reported cases. Fortunately, there is a promising vaccine trial for Lyme disease that is underway at Maine Health in Portland. Access to a Lyme disease would be a monumental step forward in reducing the burden of this
All right.
disease. which
Nothing
can
good is
have
happening anyway, so
lifelong
me
effects.
taking the time to-
I've seen it in members of my own family. As
This? Let's move it.
HHS Secretary of
help me move this back.
influence.
Thanks for
would you
joining. We're watching
exercise over
the
new
RFK live
vaccine
Senate
approvals
hearings.
such
I'm
as
going to make a
one
painting
for Lyme disease?
of
You and I have talked about this
of the of the broadcast. Maybe I'll get a picture of RFK. Maybe we'll get something here that'll.
My immediate family has had Lyme disease.
Still trying to get my canvas in. Get the right.
Was paralyzed for a year.
It's an awkward format to get a painting in.
Today, who has been suffering with devastating effects.
Thanks for tuning in. Here, let's get something started here. Just a quick sketch in the background of my studio.
Harder to find a vaccine or a treatment for Lyme disease.
I very much appreciate that assurance, and I'm sorry that your own family has been so adversely affected.
And looks like simpatico. Now we can get started here. This is beginning sketch. I need some red on this for Senator Collins' blouse there. It'll be interesting to see how the way the camera keeps cutting back and forth. I'm trying to capture a sense of the Senate hearing rather than so much a portrait of any one individual. Maybe the mood. So if they start acting a fool, well, this whole painting will go sideways. But right now, everybody seems to be kind of calm. I don't usually watch live Senate hearings and stuff. I'm usually more doing other stuff. But here's this guy. Look at his hair. Isn't that great? Why do they always have that hair? You know, it's like it never moves.
Yes.
It's like Newt Gingrich hair. Oh look, I just need two brushes to go at it. This guy's over here. I'm gonna focus on RFK. Okay. So because he's got like this funny shaped head, and there's of course YouTube has commercials, so enjoy the commercials. I've got to get some background in, so I want to be able to. I'm going to make sure to get the funny faces of the people in the background. Oh, we can skip this. I think I needed I need a producer to skip through the commercials for me, because I'm just kind of not going to pay the $5 a month. I need a shot of RFK. My medium is oil, and I use a lot of mineral spirits to get the drip. There you go. You can see the screen down there. RFK here. So while the camera's on other people, I'll just kind of sketch around, fill in some stuff here. If you like what you're watching, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, Live Local Artist. Follow me on the other places. Oh, look at Bernie. It's Bernie back there. If I was going to paint that guy, I'd put Bernie in. But we'll see. That would be a good picture. There he is. Let's get that nose, that hair. All right, he's got his hair kind of going that way. He's got like these steel eyes, the steel glare. Let's get some. But his head is like pointy. And the title tells it all. Vaccines are not associated with autism, and evidence-based. Come on, I need a picture. I need to see. It's a lighter tone, his jacket. It's not a dark gray. This is from 2014, and it has a whole bunch of articles. So I'm liking this down. And then I got a text from a he's pretty bronze. He's been tanning for this moment. Pretty much all gone. 90 papers for review by people at NIH. They felt like these. Throw some mineral spirits. I feel like I need to lighten up the. Severely lacking what is he saying? I didn't even understand that. Tried to engage Mr. Kennedy, but his colleagues refused to acknowledge the expertise of dozens of NIH. All right. About those papers. Is he grandstanding? Now, you're a smart guy. He is a smart guy. Come on, show me that smart guy. Recent medical literature on certain issues. All right. Breathe again. They're about to cut to him. His hair. It's kind of blue at the top.
that have come out since the original
some white.
refuted Wakefield article.
If I could just catch
regarding,
the shape of his head with this next camera angle,
and here is somebody
I'll be
who,
happy.
you know,
Come on, we're
it's
waiting for it.
He said.
We're waiting for. This is how I do it whenever I'm painting people.
Previously, you've had this
They move a lot. I try not to have them pose.
I'm a doctor.
I like a natural kind of session.
How
He's a doctor. He's making sure we understand.
that you will become the public health advocate,
Come on.
but not just churn.
Show me some-
old
show me some
information so that there's
RFK.
never a conclusion, as the senator has
It's tough.
suggested.
Can we not cut him off this time so I can actually...
For people to believe, no, there's 1.25 million kids studied and there's no.
We're probably going to load up a
autism
brush here
associated
with some white
How do,
and then
you
drawing
can-
color
you
here.
share my questions.
No, I don't. I didn't catch it. Would you repeat yourself,
I'm
Senator?
the advocate
Oh,
for
it's
strong
round.
science.
Kind of...
You show me those scientific studies, and you and I can meet about
He's got
it.
like a catfish mouth.
And there are other studies as well, and I'd love to show those to you. There's a study that came out last week of 47,000 9-year-olds in the Medicaid system in Florida. I think a Louisiana scientist called Mawson that shows the opposite. So there are other studies out there. I just want to follow the science. And
Where are you gonna
I
follow
will
it
do,
to?
if the science says, and I am wrong about what I've said in the past, as I said, I will publicly apologize. There's many times I've been wrong about science. If you look at my Instagram account, when I'm wrong, I apologize for it. And I say I was wrong. I don't have
Fact
any
check.
problem.
Somebody fact check that. Go to his Instagram.
It's a process of challenging hypotheses with new evidence. And there, scientists have to be able to admit when they're
This
wrong.
is all it, folks. This is it. This is
Epidemiological studies.
the camera angle I've been
are
waiting
all
for.
different.
And they're keeping it
The
there for me.
Institute of Medicine has said repeatedly in 2013, 2017, when they investigated this, has asked CDC to do certain studies, animal studies, bench studies, observational studies, studies of the vaccine safety data. CDC has not done that. Oh, I want them to do that, and I want the best science. I can guarantee you, on my word of honor, that if you show me science that says I'm wrong, I'm going to say I was wrong. I don't have any problem. There's nothing that would make me
Nice color
happier.
suit.
We need to be able to look at the science and get.
Oh, let's get this lady back in the background. She just Skeletor. Who is Skeletor back there?
And one of the things we need to do, I think, is a
I'm sorry.
subject that we haven't talked about here.
It's just her lips.
I don't even know
They're
what's
so
causing this epidemic.
formed.
Why hasn't CDC been looking at other hypotheses
Somebody spent some time on
and
those.
determined the etiology of why we've had this dramatic 1,000% increase in this disease that is destroying our kids? It's probably the biggest. I don't know the answer after 30 years of steady rises in autism rates. I know we know the answer to that. We should know the answer.
The, what was that last article?
Oh, I just missed everything you said. Would you? I wasn't listening. Could you say it just in case? One more time.
And it's regarding measles and,
No, it looks at the entire schedule and it says, it's a
All
study
right,
of
let's
9-year-old
see. I need
boys,
some.
47,000 9-year-old boys from the Florida healthcare data.
okay, let me, Senator Sanders.
Thank you. And I find myself in the
Oh,
unusual
yes.
uncomfortable
Bernie Sanders.
having to agree with Senator Cassidy's line of questioning.
Oh, I need a canvas just for him.
Mr. Kennedy,
I need a-
in an
I can't help it. I'm gonna put that
interview
big head right here. He's like looking over his shoulder. I can't help it. I don't have time to get another canvas.
Autism does come from vaccines. And you have, end of quote, and you have praised a gentleman named
You
Andrew
know.
Wakefield for his research.
He's got a concern about onesies.
Where,
this
what
guy does.
studies, you talk about the need to be science-based, get our information, good information to make decisions. What studies have you utilized to come to the conclusion that vaccines cause autism?
I'm happy to sit down with you.
No, please, just answer me that.
I mean, look at the
I don't wanna
Boston
sit down.
Study Center.
I want to sit down and talk about
Boston, just look at that study.
talk about my bosses.
But I don't, I don't want to, I wouldn't rest on a single study.
Right.
All studies can be
Right, okay,
methodology.
don't mean to be rude, I don't have a lot of time.
Just saying,
You would not be, I just heard you say you could not be happier if you approved Rook. Mr. Chairman, I asked to put into the record 16 studies done by scientists.
By scientists. So 16 studies done by scientists.
Study Senator.
Um,
The IOM has it assessment. But listen,
Let me get to it, don't have a lot of
I
time.
am
I
not-
apologize, happy to talk to you at another time, don't have a lot of time.
Wow, he sounds really dismissive of him. He just really doesn't want to engage.
Clarity on the issue. Again, I apologize, you have to be brief, we don't have a lot of time. Scientists have estimated that the COVID vaccine saved 3 million lives.
Sounds like he
President
knows
Trump said
he'll get
COVID
confirmed,
vaccine was, quote, one of the great
and,
miracles of the ages, unquote.
He's gonna have to work together with him, so he doesn't want to be as mad at him as he really is for stepping on his crunch. You know what I mean?
Was the COVID vaccine the deadliest vaccine ever made?
the reason I said that, Senator Sanders, is because there were more reports. on
Because it was the
system
dangerous,
and
the most
vaccine
deadly
adverse
vaccine
event
vaccine ever
reporting
made. Or-
which is the only surveillance system,
Right.
that and V-Safe. And there were more reports of injuries and deaths than any
But
other,
was it-
all other vaccines combined.
But was it the scientists said it saved 3 million?
According to FAIR, I don't know, because we don't have a good surveillance system.
So
Nobody
you
can answer
disagree
that
with the
question.
scientific community that,
Oh, I'm agnostic because we don't have the science to make that determination.
okay. Prescription drug prices in America, as you know,
And by the way, I think President Trump did an extraordinary job on Warp Speed because he wasn't just focusing on that one intervention, he was
he
focusing on.
called it a miracle, but you have cast doubts on its efficacy. All right, prescription drugs. We're gonna make America healthy. I agree with you that we have to need a revolution in the nature of food in America. Physical exercise, et cetera, very, very important. But there are people who are gonna get sick, and they have to go to the doctor and find out why. 1 out of 4 Americans today cannot afford the prescription drugs their doctors prescribe because we pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. We made some progress under the Biden administration of negotiating prescription drug prices with pharma. First time that's ever happened. Now, yesterday you told me that the White House is going to issue something
I don't know.
affirming their support.
Little Sanders here.
Those Medicare negotiations turned out not to be quite accurate. They came up with some land statement, couldn't written like that. Very specific question. Do you believe and will you insist that
Clean
Medicare
that brush.
continue to negotiate prices with the pharmaceutical industry so we can?
I don't feel like his round head round enough here.
Trump has made it very clear to me that he wants to negotiate.
Negotiate is a big word, Bobby. It's a big word.
That's the
It's
word
a
you
big
just
word.
used,
Yeah,
Senator.
but that.
Too
but
big.
No, I use defend a particular law. Will you defend the law in the Inflation Reduction Act, which already is negotiating prescription drug prices?
President Trump wants us to negotiate drug prices, he wants to
But you're
lower
not-
drug prices.
Whatever he
You're not
wants.
telling me that you
President Trump
defend
wants.
the law that we passed.
That's what I
which has already
want.
had significant success.
Well, the Congress, look, I'm gonna comply with the law, Senator. Congress passed a law, I'm swearing an oath to the Constitution, I'm gonna comply
You're
with the
gonna have a
laws.
significant influence on healthcare policy if you
And
are.
I'm gonna
Let
comply
me
with
just,
the laws.
let me just say this.
I don't like you. Let me just say this.
Chairman Cassidy. President Trump and Mr. Kennedy are quite right when they say that our system is broken. They're right. Our economic system today is broken. 3 people own more wealth than the bottom half of American society. Wages have been stagnant for American workers for 50 years. The economy is broken. You know what? Our political system is broken and corrupt. You have
Everybody.
a handful of billionaires in both political parties who contribute huge amounts of money to elect candidates in this room throughout the United States Congress. That is a broken political system and a real threat to democracy. Our healthcare system is
Who's that lady in
broken.
the back?
And it's broken for some of the reasons that Mr. Kennedy indicated. We have not paid attention.
She's got nice hair.
We have massive amounts of chronic disease. We have not answered the question why in the richest country in the
And
history
big
of
pearl
the
earring
world,
right there.
our life expectancy is lower than it is in countries far poorer than we are.
She looks
I
tired.
think in many ways, President Trump and Mr. Kennedy have asked.
Or Polish.
the right questions. Problem is their answers will only make a bad situation worse. So let me ask Mr. Kennedy again. If we want to make America
That's,
healthy, will you assure the American people that you will fight to do what every other major country on earth does? Guarantee
No. The
health
answer to
care
that is
to
no.
every
I will not do what
single
every other major
I'm
country
gonna
does
make
just because they do
America
it.
healthier than other countries in the world right now.
Will you guarantee do what every other
No.
major country
The answer is
does?
no,
It's a simple
fool.
question.
Why?
And by the way, Bernie,
Why do we have to do what everybody
the problem
does?
of corruption is not just in the federal agencies, it's in Congress too. Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry
Oh, no,
and
no,
protecting
no, no.
their interests.
Oh,
Ooh.
I thought that was, no. I ran for president. like this.
Let me explain myself.
Millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical.
Yeah,
industry. They came from
Sure
working.
thing.
2020.
Right.
In
And nobody's saying that you're
2020,
lying
the
either.
single largest
But you know what's up. We're all smarter than that. We already know not to send it in a pack. We already know not to have the CEOs do it.
From corporate
Bernie,
PAC.
you were the single largest acceptor of pharmaceutical dollars.
No, from working.
We'll have all the dead people do it.
5 million.
Yeah, out of 200 million. All right, but you have not answered, last question. You have not answered my question. How the
Chairman,
heck
we're
do we
three
make
minutes.
America, how do we
We're-
make America healthy if you don't guarantee
Chairman,
healthcare
we're
to all
literally
people?
3 minutes over here now.
Well, so are we.
How long does it keep going? And sometimes you're just battering the witness,
Not
Bernie.
battering the witnesses. We're
Yes,
trying
you
to
are.
get an
And
answer.
you're getting upset at him, you're going at him just like anybody else would.
All right, all right. What's going on? That's Bernie getting mad right there. And there's
Before I ever entered politics, before I was ever thinking about running for office, I practiced medicine for 30 years. I worked in public hospitals in California, Louisiana.
What color was
specialized
Bernie's
in
tie? I
liver
forgot.
disease, caring for
I
those
wish I
who
put his finger
otherwise
up.
would not
Oh
have
no, but I
special,
can't. It's not
if
there.
you will, dedicating my life to saving lives. That is being a doctor. That ethic guides
This is a
me.
good challenge. You got to paint fast. You got to kind of hold on to images in your head,
Story of my patient.
and you got to keep listening.
18-year-old girl with acute liver failure from hepatitis B being air ambulanced to LSU Shreveport Hospital for a liver transplant.
I just threw down. That's like a lizard prison right there, just to create a little.
Her mother wasn't allowed to fly in the helicopter, so her mother drove the 3 hours from Baton Rouge to Shreveport.
Oh, we got a story
Now, when
going
she
on.
arrived, they let her visit her daughter.
This is the
before she went back to
live
the
broadcast of a
And
paint along
mom
session.
goes in,
I'm watching
sat with her,
the
squeezed
Senate
her
hearing
daughter's
for
daughter's
Robert F.
eyes
Kennedy,
open, and she said,
commenting as I can. I don't know nothing about nothing.
Students with ADHD
But I know what I know.
spend hours
And some of
studying
this is
from
pretty
teaching.
ridiculous.
No.
The
by
commercials mostly. How do we commercialize this?
"Friend texted
What a
me,
country.
2 children
What a country.
in
This is
intensive care
a little.
unit at Baton Rouge Hospital from vaccine preventable diseases."
Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it's hilarious.
So my
But this is
concern
a.
that if there's any
you know,
false note,
This is my current
any
events.
undermining
I got to do
of
something.
anonymous trust in vaccines,
Let's do some
another person will
some
die.
corporate brown for the background of this Senate hearing chamber.
Now,
I think it's supposed to be a colonial
Bernie, you know,
stain on those back panels there.
of everybody in this room, the two of you have the biggest followers, tremendous credibility.
All right, so this
And
color
with
is.
that influence comes
like a
a great
goldish green.
responsibility. Now, my
You can see where I'm putting it here.
is to learn, try and determine if you can be trusted to support the best public health. A worthy movement called MAHA to improve the health of Americans are to undermine it, always asking for more evidence and never accepting the evidence that is there. I looked at the article from Dr. Mawson, and it seems to be.
That's a good color.
I'll just put that to the side. And that is why I've been struggling with your nomination.
Oh.
There are issues ultra-processed food, obesity, we're simpatico. We're completely aligned. And as someone who has discussed immunizations with thousands of people, I understand that mothers want reassurance that the vaccine their child is receiving is necessary, safe, and effective. We agree on that point, the two of us, but we've approached it differently. And I think I can say that I've approached it using the preponderance of evidence to reassure, and you've approached using selected evidence to cast doubt. Now, put differently, we're about the same age. Does a 70-year-old man, 71-year-old man who has spent decades criticizing vaccines and who's financially vested in finding fault with vaccines, can he change his attitudes and approach now that he'll have the most important position influencing
Working on
vaccine
background
policy
right
in the
now,
United
just-
States?
Question. The line of questioning is regarding vaccines.
Overturn a new leaf at age 70.
They don't want Robert F. Kennedy to
If you come
talk smack about vaccines at all.
Vaccines are safe. It does not cause autism. That would have an incredible impact.
It would get you in.
That's
Robert,
your
just
power.
say it.
So what's it going to be?
What's it gonna
Will it
be?
be using the credibility to support?
Say it.
my
Come on, get it.
values? Or
Just
will
say
it
it.
be using credibility
You don't have to
to
mean it. Just say it.
and
I like you, Robert.
for my
I want to hang out with you, but if you don't say it, we can't hang. You can't come over.
to help
If you
rebuild
don't say it, you can't come over.
institutions,
So
re-earn
just say it so we can go back to the good old days when we were both making money and scamming chicks because we could. It was good times, Robert.
As a
Come
patriotic
on.
American, I want President Trump's
I want you to say it. I want to go back to the good old days, Robert. When we could hang out on the yachts, and get paid,
prosperous, healthy.
get paid, get laid.
But if there's someone that is
Come
not
on, we
vaccinated,
could talk a lot of smack about the big corporations and not have to
and there's
have any real
18-year-old who died,
progress.
helicopter away, God forbid,
Oh, yes,
dies.
that was my bill collector. They're calling me, reminding me that I owe money for my car payment. So if you like what you're watching, you can Venmo a little tip to live local artists at Venmo. And you can always buy paintings that I post. I'm always posting stuff. Yeah, this is like a shameless request that
So, that's my
your financial support.
opinion.
I'm like a senator. Only I need money all the time, not just every couple of years. So, but I do give back. I'm always giving back. Look at all the great artwork. You can actually see the things that I do with the money you send.
For your job today,
Oh, yay.
discussing this very, very important.
Very important. Oh, there's that hair. Gotta remember to get his messy hair at the top. That's total Bernie.
My concerns. Every person
'Cause he's
on this
concerned.
panel, and I would hope everybody in America wants.
I used to believe in Bernie. I used to like be a Bernie guy.
And I applaud Mr. Kennedy for.
But now I have a lot of ridiculous
raising
questions
issues
for the
and talking
man.
about some very important truths.
But I'll still give him a fair shake on
I
a
am not
on a
hearing
quickly painted portrait.
of some
I'm
very
gonna get that.
specific policy issues that we absolutely need if we're going to make America healthy. It is unquestionable that when 68,000 Americans died because they can't afford to go to a doctor, you got to deal with that. And I have not heard one word about the
They didn't
need
die because they couldn't go to a doctor.
that exists in every country.
Never heard of that killing anybody, being the cause of death.
When 1 out of 4 people can't afford prescription drugs because the pharmaceutical industry is ripping us off and charging us 10 times more in some cases than the people in other countries. I have not heard the definitive answer I need that we're not going to pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs.
That's a ridiculous question to care about an answer to.
Healthcare is not just medical care. It's a lot more.
Everything's so
Talk about
emotionally
the food.
charged.
We held a hearing. I held a hearing a couple of months ago where we made the point
I
that the food
gave my kids
industry
everything
is,
they
in
wanted just
fact,
because they really wanted it and it was just what they
poisoning
felt
our
was right
kids
at the
with
time.
addictive food
I'd be
that is
broke.
leading to obesity,
I mean,
diabetes,
I'm
heart
broke
conditions.
as it is. So, what the heck does it matter? At least I could have happy kids.
I hope that our Congress in the White House will have to
That's Bernie. This is like a movie poster. You got the
food industry and demand
the main character in the middle, and then he's being challenged by his.
healthy and non-addictive in many ways.
I don't want to say the bad guys, but they're trying to, you know,
50 or 60 years
they're
ago.
the adversary.
And we talk about making America healthy today. Again, it's not just doctor care, medical care. We have millions of people working for starvation wages. You cannot be healthy if you're working 50 or 60 hours a week and you can't afford the rent that your landlord is charging you. Stress kills. Stress makes us sick. So, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah,
let
trust
me
me.
just
I know.
say this. I think the issues that have been raised in this hearing today are of enormous importance. I look forward to working with you and other members of this committee to make sure that we develop the policies.
So you're gonna vote for him because you got to pass it before we can see what's in it. We got to pass it before we can see what's gonna happen, right?
Thank you.
This concludes our hearing. For any senators who wish to ask additional questions, questions for the record will be due tomorrow on Friday, January 31st at 5 p.m.
Who can I put on this side? Am I done? Is that it? Was that it? Well, that was fun. I didn't get to paint this lady in the background here, but the broadcast has concluded. Therefore, I will conclude my broadcast with this. Thanks for watching this paint along. Senate confirmation hearing, RFK, I think it was the second day.